So tell us a little bit about the business that you guys are running. Tell us about the plants and what you do.
So we have a large industrial laundry plant that does sheets and towels and uniforms, processes 50 to 60 tonnes of laundry a week. And then we also have dry cleaning sites in Hawera, New Plymouth and Whanganui, and a number of laundromats that all interconnect using our laundry vehicles to transport work around the other sites. Employ 71 people, a team of 71 across all of those sites. Yep. And then we jumped in during COVID and bought some unproven sort of AI generated or AI run gear, laundry gear out of Europe. Obviously sight unseen, for some reason we weren't allowed to leave the country during that time. The problem was that we needed 3 different upgrades in the plant to make that work. We were trying to work out which one to do it, and we looked at the interest rates during that time and thought, oh bugger it, we'll just do all 3 and see if it works out.
At that time, what was some of the problem that you were identifying? Like, what was the situation in the site there that led you to start thinking about, how are we going to fix this, and how did you get into, hey, AI might be able to help us solve this problem?
Probably, firstly, we were working a shift and a half, so the plant was running 16 hours a day, 5 to 6 days a week. We were a very manual, physical job. So we were looking to reduce that. We were seeing people in their early 50s leave the business because we'd broken their bodies. We didn't have enough toilets. We were struggling for toilet capacity. We were struggling. Our smoker room wasn't big enough. Our car park wasn't big enough. Everything was a pain, to be honest. So we're having to structure shifts more so around the inadequacies of the building, and like either we get rid of some work, get rid of the crap customers, or we just need to do it better. And the one good thing of COVID, it gave you plenty of time to Google stuff and try stuff, and we got onto these guys who called themselves laundry nerds, and they thought that they could really revolutionise the hard bit of laundry, which is sorting it all, and they convinced us, basically through really poor quality Zoom calls, so we just pushed go during that COVID time, and it's a little bit complex getting the stuff in and out of the country and getting people in the country. We'd have a plan and then there'd be a lockdown, and so it cost a lot more than we'd planned. But now that everyone's seeing the benefits of the data that produces, within 2 years the system would be 30% more dearer to buy. So that made the amount of money we went over budget by feel a little bit better. But if you're not on the game for laundry equipment now, you've missed the boat for cheap.
So talk us through the technology that you've put in that's got AI integrated. What types of artificial intelligence are in there? How is it being utilised to optimise the facility?
So for us, it was around. So for a garment, we touch it, or used to touch it, 15 times from the van arriving to site to the van leaving. And there's not a lot of added value or chargeable time in those 15 touches. And a lot of those touches were above the heart. So I don't know if it's true, and I might have just made it up, but I was told you shouldn't work above your heart all day, and that's what our team were doing. So by using a way to integrate all of the touches that were in a dirty process, where we were analysing how dirty a garment was, how it should be sorted, which batch it should be washed in, and how do we trace it. All of those could be taken out by a really smart camera system, which AI wasn't the word I can't remember what they used then, but so we're basically getting that to do all the thinking that our team were doing and taking the robotic bit away to sort them. So now we only touch that garment, or initially 6 times we were touching it. So it's a hell of a lot of labour saving, but also a hell of a lot of wasted time taken away. We've now managed, by using all the data that it produces, to reduce that to 4 times we're touching a garment. And we do up to 4,000 garments a day, so we're not paying someone for 12 extra times to handle a piece of handle a garment, and humans make mistakes. So in those 12 times, some of those 12 times you'll get it wrong. But what it gave us was data. So we actually knew how often we were washing things. Every single item has a barcode or a microchip inside it, and we've used AI to sort of analyse and forecast where in the production line there's hold-ups, and what products are working better, how long they're lasting, what's the common faults, what's sort of highlight or red flag those accounts that have more repairs, especially so if they're having a lot of knee repairs, we can put a different garment in, and all the things you'd love to know, and you go to do something, you're like, I just can't be bothered doing all the research into working that out. Or it would be a heap of spreadsheets or a lot of people ticking boxes. That's where we saw AI at the start. And that's why we're all getting fat.
I mean, it's just impossible.
We're not handling things all the time.
It's just impossible to collect all of that information. Well, it would slow business down too much to actually be collecting all of that information,
100%.
right?
Yep. And Brad and I are very different in that he loves doing this stuff. I was nervously driving here, I don't, but I'd rather be in the factory, shorts and a t-shirt and a beanie, and just putting the same thing through a machine over and over again to try and work out how we can get better processes. There's a lot of data in that, and now we've got tools that we could just throw questions at it. And then once we get to a point, and then using those same tools to come back and sort of be that devil's advocate and write SWOTs and predict potential problems down the line, and all the crazy things that go around in the head, and then just use these tools to do all the analysis. But before it was just a guess. The whole laundry industry just guessed. How long does a garment last? Oh, it lasts 40 washes. The guy who said that probably made it up, and we all believed it and based our whole pricing systems for 30, 40 years. Now we know. We know what type of sheet lasts and how long, what the most common faults are. Is it a batch problem?
Does that mean the guys who sell those sheets charge another 25% for them?
Well, it's horrible to say it, but we had dinner with them. Fortunately, they paid the other night on Tuesday night, and we just said, you've got the best sheet in the market. I know everyone's telling you you've got to drive the costs down, but it runs through a production plant so superbly, just don't change it. If it costs more, that's fine, but just do not change the sheet, because we've seen the effect of saving a little bit of money or getting a poorer quality polycotton or something in it to save 5 cents. The whole industry fell to pieces almost, and laundries went broke because the quality of the polyester put into the sheets, driven by the industry pushing the price down. They were using recycled sort of plastic bottles and stuff, and in the hot ironer beds they were stretching, so all the sheets were going out of shape. So then everyone needed to buy new sheets, so then the price went up and they ran out, and same old supply and demand things that we've been challenging ourselves in business for.
So what are some of the other tools that you're using, AI tools that you're using every day? Yeah,
I still use the free version of ChatGPT, only because I'm trying to win a bet. And it's for a cup of coffee, so it's childish, but anyway. But it makes me, because you can only have so many goes, it makes me really refine the prompt searching. And I think that's the best thing with using those search tools is really understanding how to prompt. Me personally, it's a little bit of an old school one, but I like the relic method. That's how my brain works, to getting the exact prompt. And then I use it, challenge myself against it to try and refine that prompt. And the last one I always put in and teach my team is just write it for a 12-year-old. Because if you can explain it to a 12-year-old, then you've sold yourself, and you can. So that's the last prompt every time, is write it for a 12-year-old, so it's nice and simple. We've used it a lot in sort of admin roles. I tell the team, anything that you think is boring, surely we can automate it. And HR especially, we've probably taken 60% of our HR, maybe more, role away. We've made redoing contracts simpler, we've made doing policies simpler, which means we've got so much. We don't want to get rid of that time, we want to put that into doing better performance reviews and having time for more catch-up one-on-ones and invest in the team. And generally we've hired HR people for that bit, not for the typing and payroll and stuff. So we put a lot of effort into a backdoor systems and the admin roles. A bit like what Xero's done, I guess, to our accountant's time. She's now got more and more time to just dig into things and tell Brad and I off and for what we're spending on. But I think that's probably been our biggest win. One's the difference it's made to the team's physical job. That's nowhere near as physical.
Because there's less time
Less time
in
up
the year
there.
and less.
And if we process 60 tonnes this week and we've lifted, most of it 10 to 12 less times, it's a shitload of lifting. And it's that's probably the hardest bit with laundry, because we've sped the plant up with all this automation. But now we work 5 days, 8 hours, and we don't ever want to get to the point that we're back working 2 shifts and weekends. Our selling proposal, I guess, to new team members is, keeping the old, is that it's 5 days a week, Monday to Friday, which is very unusual for our industry. It's normally a 7-day-a-week thing.
So you've maintained that shift time or reduced that shift time.
Yep.
What's the new technology done to the productivity and the output or the throughput of that plant?
Yeah, probably the biggest change is most of the physical work was done with dirty product. So it could be garments from a freezing works, or dirty engineering garments, or sheets and towels in motels and hotels, which obviously everyone treats really nicely. Nothing dirty on them, but we've taken most of that risk away, and most of the work was done on the dirty. It's now done on the clean side. So the type of person we used to need is completely changed. We now need fast twitch fibre, people that are really quick at processing things, as opposed to detailed people that were handling the gear at the other end. So it's been a real challenge for some of our team that have been hired, obviously, for one end of the factory. We've put them in the other to change how they work and their mindset. And training's really hard now, training especially youth. We've tried to train using videos. I keep looking at the AI stuff where they tell me you can just create your own training videos. But
Should have been here this morning.
I haven't quite found one that suits us yet, but it's
Awesome.
Some people learn with video, some learn with words, some learn
Doing.
Yeah.
Awesome. Look, super, super interesting. Got a couple of minutes for questions. If anyone wants to ask Bevan a quick question around, yeah.
Yep. Are we? I don't know if it's a secret. Not now. That project's initial cost was $5 million. COVID probably cost us another $1 million. But we've got 19 lifts production wages, so it should pay for itself. Along with that, obviously there's some savings in water and gas and energy and the time the plant's running. It's been a really good decision. For us, it's opened up a lot of other ways of doing laundry. We've sort of challenged the suppliers and industry, and these systems are built for 100 tonne a week plants that just do sheets, towels, pillow slips. They're not built for some hick laundry in Inglewood that's putting everything through the same system. They keep telling us you can't, but you can, or we are. Because we don't have the volume here, we don't have the population, but the price to buy that system within 2 years had gone up 30%. So if it's still stacking up, and it's 18 months to get one now, so I think just based on that, it definitely stacks up. Wage costs are never going to get any cheaper, so probably at the time did it stack up? Nah, but we quite like new shiny things, and I love a challenge. Our accountant said that it would work, so we just trusted them and just went for it. And it's never going to get cheaper, is my theory. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. Anyone else? Quick question? No. Awesome, man. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thanks, Bevan.
And thanks, Adam, to OurCloud. I mean, if we hadn't, we met up there one morning just through some random meeting, and it sort of helped refine us, get better and better, and challenged us on just get those prompts right. You get that right, like your world's your oyster. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Good advice. Thank you very much. Well done. Cheers. I got it.